Good evening. I'm Scott Binsack, and thank you for joining me. Tonight, I'm going to be discussing loyalty, a dying breed. This is actually the second part to my prior show, Keeping Your Circles Small and Your Enemies Close, Growing Up in the Mob. Loyalty. Do you even know what that means? I believe most people today don't even know what loyalty means, and I don't mean the Webster Dictionary version. I mean loyalty to a cause, more so to thyself. Loyalty comes in all forms, but it comes and stems from one thing and one thing only: your morals, your values, your soul. What are you loyal to? Most of all, you need to be loyal to yourself. And people today aren't loyal to anyone on the average. Marriage, relationships, business, friendships. Loyalty is a dying breed. It's sad too, because when you're loyal to yourself, you're loyal to a cause. And most people believe loyalty will stem that I'm loyal to something, which, yes, that's part of loyalty. But when it comes right down to it, and you're faced with having to be loyal, could you do it? Could you be loyal? If your best friend came to you and told you and she's married and she slept with someone else's husband, would you go run out and tell somebody else? Or would you be loyal to your friend and keep it to yourself? If you know someone did something wrong and the police show up at your door, and if it has nothing to do with murder, rape, or other, are you going to be loyal to them and not rat, as they say? Are you going to be loyal to your friends and keep your mouth shut when they tell you things and discuss things with you? Or you're going to run it all over Facebook, social media, or go tell the next person at your job, which creates drama? I don't think anybody likes a rat, but I believe most people will come down and rat on themselves, and do every day, because they're going against their morals and their values, and thus their loyalty to themselves. I can remember it as if it was yesterday. 1999. I woke up 23 days after a near-fatal auto accident. My truck went off a cliff, more like a mountain, in the Delaware National Park. Brand new Lincoln Navigator in a snowstorm. The FBI agents were there. Didn't know who I was, didn't know who they were, didn't know anything. And I had to hear this spiel of how they believed my life was in danger because of the Capo and the Bannano Crime family I was associated with and friends with and around. And at the time, I didn't even remember my name, let alone who this man was. But as time went on, they tried to convince me that that's what they believed this may have been, to the point where I actually believed it for a period of time. That the bodyguard that I had with me that morning punched me in the side of the head, shattered my driver's side window, and jumped out the side of the truck before it went off a cliff. So I was faced with a situation to where they were telling me, or leading me to believe, that this possibly could be the case, as well as many other issues that they were trying to bring up to me, saying that my life was in danger, that this man was going to kill me, and thus they wanted my testimony against this man. As I recouped, they put me in their protection. Not witness protection, but in their protection under an assumed name in a hotel, long stay hotel in Red Bank, New Jersey. Everything I'm telling you here is documented, and there are many witnesses too, but I have all the proof, as well as tapes. I made a lot of tapes in my lifetime because I knew one day I'd have to tell my story. And my book is coming out soon. And there I was recovering from this accident as they were trying to tell me how bad this man was and what he had done, and asking me what I had known. What they didn't know, as I started to get my mind back, is that I was loyal to myself. And loyal to myself was that I gave this man my word. And I never saw him do, or anyone in the mob for that matter, do anything to anyone else that they basically didn't deserve. And I know that may sound cruel to you, but I believe, unlike cold-blooded murder, robbery, rape, child molestation, if someone goes to the mob in need of something, they know exactly what they're getting themselves into, grown men. And thus their loyalty to themselves is not there. They've gone, they borrow money, they get them involved in their business, etc., because they're in need, or they want protection from somebody else, because they created a situation that required help. You see, being loyal to oneself is understanding that we create our own situations, and therefore our morals and our values all come into play. So if someone goes to the mob, or to anyone for that matter, and says, can you help me, and you help, they help you, and you understand clearly, and they make it clear, and then you do not fulfill your promise, and then your word and your loyalty to them, and thus yourself, and I'm just using the mob as an example here. I'm going to get into others, but then don't be surprised when they come knocking on your door to collect. But you see, years ago, when John Gotti kept beating trial after trial after trial, the federal government came out with what they call the RICO statute, which is that if I know a particular organized crime member and they do something, I can also be charged with that crime. It was the government creating a law because they couldn't get their man or men. And this is sort of, as this accident changed my life for many, many reasons, because I got to see behind the scenes of what the FBI does when it comes to organized crime and many other things. And I was not impressed, to be honest with you. I'm not impressed when federal agents are allowed to lie to you, to lie, cheat, steal, whatever they have to do to get what they believe is their man. So should I compromise my loyalty, and thus my loyalty to him, and rat on him and sit in the courtroom and testify against him? As I said, if I saw somebody harming a child, a woman, you name it, different story, I would be the first one to probably handle it a different way and then be happy to testify. But I never did testify. It cost me later on in life. And there's an upcoming show that I will be discussing, called The Fall from Grace. It's a 2-hour special. You'll start to see it advertised soon, of what it caused me for not testifying. My world was turned upside down. My life was turned upside down. But in the end, I was responsible, because I may have been loyal to myself and thus to the mob, And as I discussed in the other show, I mean, I could have been killed several times, but I wasn't because they knew I was loyal. In the end, they found somebody who wasn't loyal and had this Bannano Capo arrested, indicted. It's like if you look at it for another case that most people know is John Gotti. Sammy Gravano, aka the Bull, pulled the trigger on close to 40 people, and that's all they caught on record. And he sold his soul and his integrity, but mainly his loyalty, to get himself out of trouble for the murders, and the government let him escape just to get John Gotti. So here's a man who pulls the trigger and takes the lives of over 40 people. He skates, and the other man goes to prison. And many, many other Italians or other people affiliated with Italians or any other organizations have ratted over the years and continue to rat. And nowadays, even your best friend, if you know somebody there and they're selling drugs and they get busted, they're going to turn on you. And I'm using this criminal activity to express, because I'm getting to get to the main point of what loyalty truly is. Being loyal to your partner, your spouse, your business, it all comes down to being loyal to yourself. What do you value? Do you know what you value? Do you know what your morals are? Would you tell somebody to their face that they're your best friend and then turn around and stab them in the back? Happens every day. Is that loyalty? You're certainly not loyal to the friend, but most of all, you're not loyal to yourself because you're not loyal to your own word. And I show you, see, I don't sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell it to you. I believe in direct. I don't like sugarcoating anything. I see so many people with all these speeches and all these things, and you know what? They leave out the core part of them. And the core part is being direct and real, to the point of, listen, they want to promise success, they want to promise everything, but it comes down to this. Everything in life comes down to you being loyal to yourself, to your beliefs, to your core values, to your soul. You're in a marriage, are you loyal to your husband or your wife? Again, thus loyal to yourself. Most people, they have horrible marriages, relationships, and they're not. And they go out and cheat and they do their thing. If the other partner knows and they're okay with that, fine. But think about it. Are you loyal? Are you loyal to yourself? You wake up, you look at the person in the mirror in the morning, tell them I love you, and then you go out and do whatever you're going to do. You're not loyal to yourself. You're not loyal to them. You're not loyal to anybody. It's just like gossip and drama. People love to create drama. Are they loyal to themselves? Hell no. They're not loyal to themselves. A loyal person to themselves will look in the mirror. One of the hardest things anyone can do is look in the mirror and say, I have this problem. I have this. You could say it all you want. But if you don't understand what loyalty is to yourself and your soul and what you really value and what you moral within yourself, what your morals are within yourself, you have nothing. You're not loyal to anything. And that's why you see so many people selling other people out today. You see people selling out their own country. And I don't mean soldiers that are over there fighting in wars that we don't need to be in. They're being loyal to the cause of what they believe and what they're taught to believe. And a lot of them aren't anymore. A lot of them don't want to be there. A lot of them know it's a never-ending battle for no reason. And you see it every day. You see it every day. This is why our country's in the condition that it is. We're not even loyal to our own country. And I don't mean fighting it, as I said. Loyal to our country, to where you can look around and you see what's going on in this country. And people love to whine and complain and do whatever, but they do nothing other than run their mouth. Being loyal to yourself is doing something, changing something in your life to make sure that your morals and your values are real and true. And being loyal to yourself and thus others, and thus to a cause. And yes, I was loyal to the mob. I was loyal to the mob, and it earned me much respect. And I was told by the FBI I was going to be killed and this. And to the beginning story, there was no attempt on my life. It was another fabrication. And I went years later, as I discussed in another show, and faced this man face to face. And yeah, I could have been shot, killed, taken in the back of a car for a ride. But I wasn't, because they knew I was telling them the truth. And they were loyal to me, and I was loyal to them. The FBI wasn't loyal to me. Everybody looks at the government or officials and thinks that the system that we have is loyal. It's not. The system's not loyal. That's the sad part. Because people who run the system are broken, and thus not loyal to themselves. I challenge you to truly think about what you are loyal to yourself, what you value, what your moral, what your standards are, and see if you follow the same. See if you would withhold your true loyalty to yourself and to others if a situation arose. I'm sure some of you have been in many situations where people come to you, well, did you hear that? What did they say? I know you were there. Did you do this? Did you do that? But everybody starts talking. Where's the loyalty? Where's the loyalty? I'll bring you up another example. You see all these religions, and you see these, and I call them phony, not everybody, but I call them phony Christians, phony this. Everybody likes to spew the word, God bless, pray, do this, pray, do that, and I believe in prayer. I died in that auto accident. I did another show, Seeing Heaven and Hell, and I can assure you it's there. It took me 20 years to discuss what I saw, and I did it to the whole world. Are you loyal to God? To what you believe is God? And your beliefs and your values? Are you? Or do you spew it and then do something else? Hypocritical. Unloyal people are hypocritical, not just to others, but to themselves. To be loyal to yourself means don't lie to yourself, and don't lie to others about who you're proclaiming to be to them. If you have a friend and you call them your best friend, be loyal to them. And if they're not loyal to you, then they're not your friend. But most of all, they're not loyal to themselves. I suffered for years because of what happened for my loyalty. For years. For a situation that was a chain reaction of just corruption, lies, unbelievable accounts of actions that committed. Regardless, it still was my fault, because I put myself in those situations, and somewhere along the line I compromised my values that created that situation. You really have to ask yourself, are you true to yourself? Are you loyal to yourself and to others around you? It's like everybody likes to watch gangster movies, or I'll give you an example. I was in New York, my hometown, last weekend. And someone there claims to be a friend had brought something up and said Fugazi. And Italian means full of shit. And I looked at them and I said, I don't owe you anything to prove who I am or what I've done and why I did it and my loyalties to those around me. And you don't owe it to anybody. Like this person was like, I gotta make sure. This person is not even connected to the mob, but they're full of time. They're not connected to the mob, never been in the mob, and this is the problem. Everybody likes to claim that they're part of something or this or that, and when it comes down to it, everybody wants to be a gangster, but when it's time to do gangster shit, they're not there. And when I say gangster shit, I'll use it in the term of everyday life. When it comes down to doing serious business, serious relationships, serious anything, are you basically a wolf, gangster, or are you a sheep, or are you a follower? You need to be a wolf to yourself. You need to be a gangster to yourself. In other words, your dreams, your goals, things you want. We call it the hustle. You look at some of the great companies, and I'll look at Apple. Apple has a cause. People don't buy Apple because it's advertised everywhere. People buy Apple because they're loyal to the product and they like the product. They're Apple people. They're Apple users. Other companies can advertise something and advertise something and advertise something, and nobody will buy it because you have to find people who want what you want. In other words, you have to find people. Apple found people and attracted people like them, like Steve Jobs. And it goes with anything in life. You have to be loyal to yourself and attract those who are like you. A square peg in a round hole. And this is where a lot of people go wrong in life. People like to change. People try to change people. If people like to create business and think by advertising they're going to get the volume or the sales, and they're not. You have to find out who your people are, who wants your product, and be loyal to that product. It's the same thing in life. You attract your friends and be loyal to your friends, and they're loyal to you. You have real friends. But would you be truly loyal to them and thus to yourself? Or would you sell them out at the first chance? I may have suffered for not testifying, but I was true to myself. I was very true to myself. And I didn't give the feds what they wanted. And even for them, they wanted me to lie at times just to get their man. And they lied to me. Oh, they lied to me. So I gave it right back to them. You have to be loyal to yourself and thus others. Don't tell someone you got their back and you don't. Don't be a partner with somebody in business And when something goes south, bail out and run and leave them hanging. Or if you're in your own business by yourself, don't be loyal to your employees and thus yourself and your core beliefs and values, and your company will soar like it. Loyalty is a dying breed. Look at yourself. Look deep within yourself and find out what your morals and values are and be loyal to them and stick by them through anything and everything. Don't be a snitch or a rat to yourself. How's that sound? I like that. I like to put things in simple terms, not that I don't know the more serious languages, words, so to speak, grammar. I like to keep it simple and real on my shows and in my life because I'm 40 going on 400. I'm mentally exhausted. And the path I've walked, as I wouldn't wish on anybody. Many successes, but many failures, as well as many situations because I stood up for my morals and my values, and thus everything I'm about. And I fought, and I fought, and that's what's missing today. People don't fight anymore, very rarely. They don't stand up for what they believe in. And that's values. The loyalty. The greatest loyalty in your life is to yourself. Don't ever kid yourself. Don't stab people in the back. Don't gossip behind their back. Don't give them your word and not keep it. Now, that's not to say, if you see something or you know somebody that does something horrible, okay, then you have to deal with it. And it's the right thing to do. But selling someone out to make yourself feel better, that's not loyalty to them, but most of all to yourself. Not at all. It's now a given thing every day. People sell each other out. They're not loyal to anything. Not loyal to their jobs. They're not. A friend of mine, I'm going to say something. A close friend of mine has such loyalty to her company in life and in business as well as a personal life, that she would have allowed someone in her business to walk all over her and not do something in retaliation or back because she was loyal to the company, even though she she moved on, but she stayed loyal to the end. Well, in life today, you could get run over because you're loyal. So you have to understand the differences when that loyalty has to show its face and when it doesn't. And when I mean loyal to yourself, you've got to make decisions for yourself that are going to make you a better person or put you in a better financial situation or what's better for you and your family and your life. You have to. That's still being loyal to yourself. That's not being loyal. Selling someone out or a cause out that you believe in for no reason, simply because of jealousy or hatred or attention, etc., you're not loyal. And understand, when you are loyal, truly loyal, it always comes with a price. And therefore it goes to your whole integrity, your soul, your value, what you value, and what your morals are. And mob was loyal to me. I paid the ultimate price, though. Would I do it all over again? Yes, I would. I would do it all over again. And then some. Many people I didn't sell out. There's many secrets I have that are going to die with me. For many things, for many reasons, for many issues, many things with others. And it'll die with me. You're not getting it out of me. Here's the problem. People come in and they get scared. In anything in life, they get scared. So they panic. And they talk. Others count on that. Others count on that. I apologize. It's been late. It's late here for me. I enjoy doing this show. And that's the thing someone said to me. What are you doing this for, Scott? I'm doing this to tell the world what I learned, to hopefully help and change others so that they wouldn't make the same mistakes I did, as well as that they can lead a peaceful life to the best of their ability. Life's too short. Be loyal to yourself and be loyal to those around you. Because if not, you're just kidding yourself. You're a fake. You're a fake to yourself. And all my shows revolve around looking at yourself, because that was the biggest problem I had in my life. I had to find myself, be true to myself in many areas. Be you, dig deep and find out what your morals and your values are and stand by them. Be loyal to yourself and thus others around you. Good night and God bless.